Start the clock.
Bogey, 9 o'clock high. Duster 223, get out of there. He's on your tail. Get out of there. Cobras Raptors off.
You know what I love most about winning? It's when you win. I love that feeling. And I love the fact that the Chargers beat the Jets on Monday Night Football for everybody to see, 27-6. Essentially pitching an end zone shutout where the Jets could not score a single touchdown and scored those 6 points through 2 field goals. And I'm proud of the Chargers. I'm happy that we won the game. I'm happy that our defense looked sensational. But in watching this game from start to finish, the way it started, I had a feeling that this was going to be a game that went off to the races. We went out to 14 quick points, and I believe that the Chargers would go out there and score 30 plus and just dominate the Jets on both sides of the ball. And we did it on one side of the ball, but not so much the other. So while I'm grateful and thankful that we won the game, because in the NFL, wins are hard to come by, and if your defense can carry you to a win, why not be happy about that? Ask the 2000 Ravens. Ask the 1985 Bears. If your defense can carry you to wins, winning is all that matters. I don't care how you do it. Did you get it done? So I'm happy about the fact that we walked out of New York with a 27-6 win on a 2-game win streak. But I'm not content. I'm not content because I know we can do more, but I'm not content because I know we're capable of more. So let me go over how this game went. So we start off with the ball, quick 3 and out, have to punt it. The Jets get the ball back. Also kind of mirror the same possession we had where Zach Wilson has an overthrow. They try to run the ball, get about 4 yards, and then miss a pass on 3rd down, so they punt it. They punt it to us, and we run the thing back for a touchdown. It was amazing, and that's what had me think, all right, this game is about to be off to the races. And then a possession later, we get a strip sack. And then we get a short field to work with, and we score again. Eckler punches a touchdown in. So now it's a quick 14-0. So I'm thinking, all right, we're about to probably go up 21-0 on the Jets. It's going to be an easy victory. I think we should score at least 35 points on this team. And it didn't go like that. Then our offense just stalled. The Jets offense was the Jets offense. It wasn't very good, but I'm not going to say that they didn't do well just because they're not very talented. But our defense, man, they played like their hair was on fire. They stood on their head. Whatever coaching cliche you want to use, they did that. They got to Zach Wilson 7 times, 7 sacks, strip sacks, forced fumbles, everything. They were on him all night. And if you're someone who watched just the box score, the total yardage of this game does not reflect how they played. Towards the end of the game, we started giving up chunk plays here, chunk plays there, because we're up 21 with less than 3 minutes in the game. So there was a lot of, if you want to call it, garbage time yardage accumulated towards the end of the game. But we held them in check. Garrett Wilson was quiet. Breece Hall was pretty effective. He was effective. He wasn't really killing us, but he was the motor that kept them going, because Zach Wilson, he just didn't have it today. And there are some games where he plays pretty well, does enough for his team to win, but he didn't have it. And Bosa, Khalil Mack, the entire defense, everybody, if I had to give out MVP awards for the game, the entire defense would walk away with that award because they played lights out. Going back to the offensive side of the ball, we could have been better. We could have been better. And going against this Jets defense, that's not an easy task. This is one of the better defensive lines, if not the best defensive line in all of football. And they showed that today. They didn't run a lot of blitzes towards us. They just would rush 3, rush 4, and within 2 seconds, Herbert would have to step up in the pocket, and he either got sacked or he had to try to extend a play or was rushed into a pass. Herbert was very pedestrian today, a forgettable game. Some of it was because of pressure. Few throws he missed here and there. It wasn't bad, but it was just very, very forgettable for him. He had 136 passing yards, no touchdowns, no turnovers, but nothing special. Offensively, if I had to give one person the MVP, you would think it'd be Keenan Allen. He had roughly 80 receiving yards, had one of the best catches of the season. I caught it with one hand, grabbed it in, did a 360 in the air, and just hauled in an overthrown pass, but he caught it. Congratulations to Keenan Allen for entering the 10,000 receiving yard club. No easy feat. It's just him and Antonio Gates as far as Chargers go, so big shouts out to Keenan Allen. But the MVP of the day for offense was Austin Ekeler. And his numbers aren't going to wow you. Didn't run for a ton of rushing yards, didn't get a lot of receiving yards, did accumulate 2 touchdowns. But it was the fact that he was the go-to guy for our offense. What do I mean by that? On offense, the Chargers, we had 36 touches distributed throughout running the ball and receptions. 36 touches. 36 times a player other than Herbert touched the football and did something with it. 16 of those went through Austin Ekeler. So that's 42% of all the touches on the team went directly with Ekeler. And I'm watching, I'm thinking this is one of those games Ekeler's probably going to wake up sore tomorrow because he took a lot of hits. The yardage wasn't pretty. He had to run between the tackles. A lot of passes behind the line of scrimmage that might have got blown up a few times and getting hit left, right, having to fight for yardage. But he kept the clock going. He kept the chains moving, and he was consistent. Dropped a few passes. By my count, he dropped 3 that were uncharacteristic of him, but I'm not going to kill him for that. He scored our only 2 touchdowns of the game, and he was a consistent force of continuing to just keep pounding the rock, keep the clock rolling, keep the chains moving. Dicker the kicker. 2 field goals, 2 for 2, and we called on him twice. He made both of them. Made a 55-yarder as well. So that's impressive. I guess you give him a part of the MVP awards. We have the entire defense, Austin Ekeler, Cameron Dicker. Great job. I would say those are the 3 MVPs of the game. But offensively, I'm trying to sort through this right now because on defense, we played lights out. Are we going to play a team like the Jets every single week? No. Struggling quarterback. Their offensive line, they had guys in and out, so that wasn't the full strength of the Jets' offensive line. But I like what we saw because you're still playing a professional football team. Zach Wilson may not be Patrick Mahomes. He may not be Tua Tagovailoa, but he's still an NFL quarterback. And for us to go out there and essentially pitch a shutout as far as touchdowns are concerned, I can only be happy about that. Offensively, though, as great as the Jets' defense is, less than 200 yards on offense. Herbert throws for under 150 yards. We couldn't really get the run game established. And what was strange was Keenan Allen, and I know they have Sauce Gardner out there. They ran a lot of man coverage on the outside, and Keenan just didn't win a ton of those matchups. He won a few, especially in the second half, but he was radio silent the first half. I just would have liked to have seen us push the ball down the field a bit more. And that's something that when watching this, we tried to establish the run between Kelly and Ekeler. 3 yards in a cloud of dust was about what we got every single time. But on offense, our passing game was really just a lot of screens, short passes. We didn't push the ball down the field, and it's not going to be like that game in 2018 Whereas the Chiefs versus the Rams, and they're just going bombs away. That's not going to happen every single game, but we can do better with a quarterback like Herbert than 136 yards. The objective is to win, and it was working, kind of. I don't even want to say it was working. It was effective enough because we didn't pick up a lot of first downs. We didn't really score any touchdowns outright. Our only touchdowns came from when Kendricks had that strip sack, or just the strip on Wilson and ran it back to the 2-yard line, and then Eckler punched it in. And then Bosa had the strip sack on Wilson around the 50-yard line, and they gave us a short-ish field to work with. Outside of that, we had the kick return touchdowns. That's 21 points right there. Dicker makes 2 field goals. That's 27. So we didn't really score any touchdowns as far as long drives. We did have an 8-minute drive in the fourth quarter that got us in field goal range, but nothing mind-bending, nothing earth-shattering offensively. It was enough to win the game. And listen, I'm glad that we won. It's a 2-game win streak. Our defense has held between the Chicago Bears and the New York Jets to 19 points in 2 games. We've given up 2 touchdowns in 2 games, and a total of 19 points. So I'm happy about that. But is that sustainable? Is this something we can do moving forward? We got the Giants, Lord. We have the Lions next week. I don't think we're going to hold them to 6 points. I don't think we're only going to give up 2 touchdowns against them. Ask how we did against the Dolphins. Ask how we did against the Chiefs. Ask how we did against the Cowboys. We actually did pretty good against the Cowboys. Ask how we did against the Titans, the Vikings. Our defense, when we play these... What's a kind way of saying this? Less than stellar quarterbacks, we look amazing. When we play actually talented quarterbacks, that's when we get eaten up. So it's still the one thing I've been saying about this Charger team. It's still a tale of 2 halves. Our defense can play great. Our offense can be subpar. Our offense can be great. Our defense can be subpar. Our offense can be great. Our run stopping is great. Our pass defense is subpar, and then you can flip it where the pass defense is great. The run, you get what I'm saying. We can find a way to get this all together, but I'm happy with what I saw. I'm glad we're winning. 4-4 is better than 3-5. And we're on to Detroit. Happy that we won. Excellent showing by the defense. Let's keep that same intensity and bring it to the Lions. And from what I've seen this entire year, our offense isn't going to have a performance like that again. We'll be better. And by better, as in we'll be more potent. But until next time, we'll see you on the next video. If you haven't already, make sure to like, subscribe, support the channel, comment down below what your thoughts are. And until next time, peace.